All right, so this month's topic and focus is the nearest and dearest to my heart of everything that we're going to talk about, which is culture. I think the biggest sort of like juiciest thing to tackle here, and the conversation I think is most important for all companies and organizations and businesses to have. So here's the deal. Culture is not this intangible thing. So many times on LinkedIn and around in the business community, in conversations, I hear people sort of musing about culture like it's this intangible thing or it's just a buzzword, it doesn't mean anything. And culture is absolutely a tangible thing. And in order for us to have an effective culture, which is possible, it is possible to impact and affect people's behaviors and mindsets and the way that they show up at work, and that is through having a strategic, intentional culture. We have to treat culture as a strategic priority. The same way that we treat marketing, operations, customer service, we have to have a plan that is dedicated and specific that says this is what our culture is. And so many organizations do half or some of that work where they say we have a mission statement and a vision statement and we define our 5 values like trust and integrity and respect, and that's as far as they go. That is not a culture. A culture is to dive deeper into that and have a full giant plan that says these are what our values are, this is how we live them, this is what the ground rules, like this is what integrity looks like in practice, this is what respect looks like in practice. And then we say, how do we incorporate this into our company, right? Which is part of onboarding, that we say this is our defined, like specific intentional culture, like this is what's expected of you in how you show up and perform your job, also in how you interact and contribute to the team and show up like with other people in the team. This is our culture. And as you onboard people, you let them know 100% across the board, this is what is absolutely expected of every person in this organization, and that you are accountable to that. So culture is something that it has to become part of our DNA and our fabric. So any coaching and feedback to employees, right, and their development is all based around this culture, where we're talking about like, how are you doing in relation to this specific culture? It's just, culture is not the weather. It is not something that just comes and goes and we're tourists in this place to like hope that we get lucky. Like nobody gets lucky with culture. It takes intention, and it has to be. We have to answer the questions as well of like, do we actually care about culture? Is every single person in this organization 100% across the board accountable to show up and behave in alignment with these values and these behaviors? Because, right, if every single person doesn't buy into it, if certain people in the organization are exempt, leaders, the founder, people that have been there long enough, from acting inside of that culture and with those behaviors, it doesn't mean anything to anybody. It has to be 100% across the board. This is what we believe. This is what's expected of you. These are table stakes. In order to be here, this is how we behave and treat each other. And like, it has to be defined, it has to be intentional and specific, and every person in the organization needs to understand what is expected of them and how they show up. So, culture, that is the thing. Such an important conversation. We're gonna be talking about different aspects of culture throughout the month. So look for our content on social media and also in these emails. That's it. We'll see you soon. Go be awesome.